Can you bring us up to speed in terms of what you heard for the arguments on both sides of this case and the repercussions?
Sure. What I heard is basically what you just laid out there. The Constitution says that the census has to be conducted every 10 years, precisely to figure out how many members of Congress each state gets. And by the way, that also means how many electoral votes they get, plus how much money they get in federal funds. And it says that the census is to be conducted by counting the whole number of persons in each state. So this dispute is really about what does that mean? The states and the groups that depend on the census say that means you count everybody if they have any ties, the place where they basically lay their heads every night. And even some conservatives of the court seem to think that the administration has the wrong argument here. Amy Coney Barrett said if somebody has lived here, even if they're illegally here for 20 years, doesn't that establish that they're people who live in the U.S., that this is their residence? So I think, frankly, a majority of the court is not willing to accept the Trump administration's definition of that. Here is the problem. What is the court supposed to do about it? And this is where today's argument took a very strange turn. Jeffrey Wall, whom you heard just a little bit there, the acting Solicitor General, said he has talked to the Census Bureau and they don't know two things. They don't know how many people they will exclude from the census, because they haven't figured that out yet. And they also don't know when they'll know the answer to that question, if at all. Now, there's a deadline to get this information to the president by the end of the year, and then he has to use it to transmit to Congress early in January the numbers that Congress is to use for reapportionment. But it's very unclear here about what that number is going to be and when it's going to be turned over to the White House. So while I think the majority of the court is skeptical of the president's plan about its constitutionality, there didn't seem to be any great appetite for acting quickly, even though the court has taken this on a fast track, promising a decision by the end of the year. My guess is that they will not block the administration in this initial decision from doing this. They'll wait to see what happens. They'll wait to see how many figures the Census Bureau actually gives the president, whether that would make a difference in reapportionment, and maybe then entertain new lawsuits to try to block that.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.